So meatball sub. Meatball sub. Perfect. Nailed it. Hey everybody, welcome to the Avocado Mama's Kitchen. Today we are making white bean meatball sub sandwiches. Hubba, 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 hubba. Yeah, I'm really excited for this. To get the episode started, let's just do a little rundown of a few things. For the perfect meatball sub, obviously, we're gonna need some bomb rolls. So we picked up these super fluffy, delicious, multi-grain rolls. We'll be able to toast it perfectly and like smother in all of our schmothers in there. And then two other things. So depending on how quickly you want to make this recipe or how cost efficient you're trying to be, you can buy your favorite can of tomato sauce. No judgment on you, my friend. No judgment at all. Or you can make yours fresh, which is what we're going to do just because it's so easy. If you want to learn how to make red sauce, you can go back to our spaghetti squash and marinara sauce boat recipe. If not, just pick up a can of tomato sauce. For numero dos, the meatballs. We are making fresh meatballs today out of white beans and mushroom base, which are gonna be so freaking good. But they take about 50 minutes to bake. So keep in mind to make this recipe, I would say in total, it's probably gonna be about an hour and a half if you're doing everything step by step. If you just buy it all, you can probably cut it down to about 20 minutes. We are going to move on to the first step of the recipe, which for us is just going to be to whip up our red sauce. And I'll just show you guys real quick. Like I said, we're not going to go really in depth into it because we just don't have the time. I'm going to start this off with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. This recipe is super easy to make the red sauce. If you haven't. And then here I already have prepared 3 chopped up tomatoes, a handful of fresh basil, 1/4 of a chopped up white onion, and 1 large garlic piece. Garlic clove. That's what it's called. So let's dump it all in there. I'm gonna do about half of this tomato paste. I'm gonna do a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of salt. We are good to go. So I'm going to turn that super low. That's going to just be cooking here on the stove probably for about 20 minutes or so. So because my pan topper thingy majiggy isn't big enough to cover the whole thing, I just kind of go like that and it works pretty well. I had to say so myself. We should switch places. Now we get into the fun part. Yay! We are gonna get into the meatball part. We're gonna make our own meatballs today, guys. Super cool. To start this concoction off, I'm gonna use an iron skillet. If you do not have an iron skillet at your home, that's okay. Just use a very large pan. We're gonna be linking you guys to a great iron skillet that you can purchase. Seriously, iron skillets are so good. The possibilities are endless. Okay, let's move on. To start this off, we're gonna have a tablespoon of olive oil. Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear? Cool. So for this recipe, for the meatballs, we used 1 small white onion, about 10 tiny cremini mushroom caps, and about 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. Sick. Now that that oil's pretty warm, we're just gonna toss in the onions only for right now. I mean, I honestly just put them like this on this plate to make them look pretty for you guys. The cool thing about an iron skillet is when it heats up evenly. When you heat your iron skillet up, you gotta let it heat up for about like 5-6 minutes because it takes a minute, but it cooks things way faster once it is heated because it disperses heat evenly, so it's really like the maximum heat on your food. I'm such a nerd. So now that you've had the onions cooking for about 10 minutes or so, we're gonna add our mushrooms. In they go. We're gonna add in 3 cloves of chopped up garlic and the juice of 1 entire lemon. And I mixed them together because it was just easier. Okay. Did you see that fly? And we're gonna let that cook for about another 5 to 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and mix around this goodness just one time. We'll be back 10 minutes. Welcome to the club. We're gonna drain these beans. Great beans, these are great beans. So we're using Great Northern beans, or as Nathaniel calls them, great beans. And you can use these or white beans for the recipe. I'm just gonna use my strainer to get all of the juice part out. And then swish it around. It's good. I love beans. We're gonna get started on the seasonings that you're gonna need in the meatballs. And this little bowl, what I'm gonna do is 1 teaspoon of the oregano. I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of the crushed red pepper flakes, 1 teaspoon of the salt, and then 1 teaspoon of black pepper, but mine is a grinder, so I'm just gonna grind the amount that I think is gonna be 1 teaspoon. So now we have our washed beans, and it's time to add those into the mixture too. Okay, we're gonna mix that in, and now we're gonna let that sit and cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, so this is just about ready to put in the food processor or blender. But first, at this point, let's preheat our oven to 375 degrees. You're going to need a food processor or a blender. You could just eat this as a meal, in fact. And we can turn this off. This guy's hot. Don't touch that. It'll burn ya. And I'm going to pulse it just a few times. Awesome, awesome. Awesome. And now you're gonna need a cup of the breadcrumbs that you're using. We're gonna do 1 cup breadcrumbs and 2 tablespoons of our parsley. Putting that in. And then 1 cup of breadcrumbs may seem like a lot, but you need something to bind it together. That's pretty common with vegan food, is you gotta find some way to bind it without using animal products, which is, you know, hurting the earth in other ways. Tear. Okay, and now we pulse. And I'm gonna go ahead and scrape down the sides. Looks freaking amazing. Okay, this is what we're gonna try to achieve. Like this, it almost looks like Thanksgiving stuffing to me. And tastes like Thanksgiving stuffing, but like so much more seasoning, flavor, and passion. Now, it's time for the fun part. And we're gonna sprinkle breadcrumbs so that it covers the entire bowl, like that. I'm gonna do a few dashes of parsley flakes on there. We're gonna use parchment wax paper. If you don't have wax paper at home, go get it. No, I'm just kidding. You can grease your sheet if you want, but we don't want to do that because we try not to use oil. So we're just gonna do parsley, someone's drunk. So you can either use a tablespoon for this part or just use your hands. I'm gonna go ahead and use my hands. Take my rings off. No one saw that. Edit that out. We're gonna kind of make little meatballs like this. I'm gonna roll it around in the dough. And there's our first meatball. Look how cute he is. So like I said, you guys, if you don't have enough time to do this, that is totally okay. You can honestly make 20-minute meatball sub sandwiches that are vegan. However, I think the value of doing it this way is we know exactly what's going in these ingredients. We're using beans, which are very, very high in protein. They're not going to be as processed as like if you're going to make turkey meatballs or something. We just used organic white beans from a can with low sodium. It's the good stuff. I think another one of the values of not buying the meatballs that are pre-made and frozen from the health food stores is if you look at those ingredients, a lot of them have so many like thickeners. They're gonna have emulsifiers, they're gonna have preservatives, and most of them are based from soy, which I mean is not a terrible thing, but when we're talking about health and when we're talking about what's really going to nourish the body, what's going to give us energy, what's going to make us feel great, it's going to be these. And here's the thing, say you're watching this and you're like, yeah, but the bread to avocado mama, what about the bread in the meatball subs? Then, you know, don't use bread. Make this same recipe with the sauce, with these white bean meatballs, and do it with like zucchini noodles or do it with whole grain spaghetti. Okay, look at that. We got our meatballs. They're going down the hatch. So we're gonna put these bad boys in for about 30 minutes. Once they've cooked for 30 minutes on one side, we will take them out and flip them upside down and let them cook an extra 20 minutes. So the total cook time for these meatballs, get ready, is 50 minutes. Cool? We'll see you back in 30. Welcome back. The timer just went off. Check it out. Our batch of babies. Wow, they look bomb. So I'm just gonna turn them all over and put them back in for another 15 minutes. And then they should be ready to devour. Whew. All right. So we'll see you again in another 15 minutes. Now what we're gonna do is toast the buns. We're gonna toast them because we want that like crunchy outer taste. The alarm went off, people. So we have the meatballs, the marinara sauce is finished. I mean, we're pretty much good to go here. The reason why we wanted to toast both sides, as you can see, is because we wanted to make it kind of toasty. So let's check. Oh my God, these are gonna be perfect. Oh. So good. We've got our little meatball sandwich. I'm gonna put the spinach up in there. Wow, this is crazy. Whoo-wee. All right, so what do you think? Is it time? Look at our meatball subs. Okay. I'm like too excited. All right. This is gonna get ugly. Okay. It's amazing. It's so flavorful. The tomato sauce is perfectly cooked. We let it simmer for probably about an hour in total. So it's just got all that flavor, the garlic, the salt, it's all mixed so well. Yeah, the meatballs are perfectly crispy on the outside, super moist on the inside. I don't think we could have done a better job with this. We really killed it. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our channel. Be sure to check out our Patreon where you can become a monthly subscriber. Share with your friends if you like what we're making. Comment below if you want, like the video, dislike the video, I don't care. And we will see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Bye. Oh my God, you guys, this is so good.